AF area selection. AF area selection lets you control the size of the area your AF system is using when it reads your subject. In effect, it lets you change the size of a focusing point. You have 6 possible AF area options available. You make them available or temporarily remove any you don't expect to use in the 4th AF menu under Select AF Area Selection mode. The single point AF option is always checked and cannot be temporarily removed. Press Set to enable desired area modes. Highlight OK. Press Set to activate selection. To cycle through the available choices, press the AF point selection button on the rear of the camera. You don't have to hold it in. Then, press the multi-function button up by the shutter button. Each time it's pressed, you'll change to a different AF area option. When you reach the AF area type you want to use, stop and tap the shutter button halfway. Single point AF. This is your basic AF area option to manually select and focus with one single AF point at a time. You can freely move to any one of the 61 available AF points. Spot AF. Select any one AF point and reduce its size for even greater selective focus control. AF point expansion, 4 points or 8 points. Select any one single AF point and add a cluster of either 4 or 8 surrounding points. AF point expansion is especially useful with moving subjects and subjects that don't have a lot of detail, texture, and contrast. Zone AF provides a cluster of AF points, and the camera will use all of them and focus on the nearest subject within the zone you've chosen. You can move the active zone to any of 9 preset locations. Auto AF point selection. All the AF points are active, and there's a surrounding line outside the AF array in the viewfinder. With one-shot AF, focus will be achieved on the AF points covering the nearest subject. When in AI Servo AF, select one starting AF point to begin tracking a moving subject. If the subject moves away from this point, the AF system will automatically activate other points. AF area selection lets you really leverage the power of the 61-point AF system. Whether your goal is very fine and precise focus on just a tiny area of a subject, or maintaining focus on a large and rapidly moving subject, the different options give photographers a great tool to get the job done. The AF Configuration Tool. The new AF Configuration Tool provides the ability to quickly and intuitively fine-tune the AF system for any type of moving subject you may be shooting. Whether a subject is moving continuously at high speed or changing speeds with erratic direction in their movement, you can tailor the AI Servo AF for the subject and the conditions at hand. 6 preset AF cases are provided for dealing with real-life situations in which AI Servo AF settings may be difficult to adjust. The 6 cases are selected in the first AF menu. Case 1, Versatile Multipurpose Setting. Sets the camera to track subjects with consistent, predictable movement. Case 2, Continue to track subjects ignoring possible obstacles. Even if the subject briefly moves off the AF point or something momentarily gets between you and the subject, the camera will continue to track the original subject. Case 3. Instantly focus on subjects suddenly entering AF points. When a new subject is detected in the active AF point area, the camera will focus on it immediately. Case 4. Subjects that accelerate or decelerate quickly. Changes the AI Servo AF to react instantly to sudden changes or stops and starts in moving subjects. This is the opposite of Case 1. Case 5. erratic subjects moving quickly in any direction. Anytime you're using more than one AF point, Case 5 makes the camera's switching from point to point faster. This way, you can continue to focus track erratic side-to-side movement. Case 6. Subjects that change speed and move erratically. This case also speeds up automatic AF point switching, but additionally tailors AI Servo AF to react instantly to changes in subject speed. The new AF configuration tool allows you to easily fine-tune the autofocus system in your camera to accurately track and capture subject movement that previously may have been too unpredictable to follow. AI Servo in-camera adjustments. In-camera AI Servo AF adjustments allow you to easily refine predictive autofocus settings, optimizing the way in which you capture moving subjects. Optimizing AF settings in AI Servo AF with the new 61-point AF system is easier than ever before, allowing you to lock in and focus track almost any moving subject, whether the movement is erratic or predictable. Within each of the 6 configuration cases, there are 3 settings that allow for fine-tuning. Simply select the case and press the Rate button to access. Tracking sensitivity. Alter the way that the AF system responds when subjects move away from the AF points. Responsive tailors the camera to react and refocus faster when there are sudden changes in what your AF point sees. Locked on tells the AF system to resist changes and continue tracking an original subject. Acceleration-deceleration tracking. This is a landmark setting in SLR AF systems that allows you to tailor the AF to the type of subject movement you expect to be shooting. 0 tunes the focus tracking for continuously moving subjects. +1 and +2 increase the AF system's response for subjects that change speeds or stop and start frequently. AF point auto switching. Anytime you're working with more than one AF point active, this setting affects how quickly the camera will change from one point to another. 0 balances AF stability with tracking, providing gradual AF point switching. With +1 and +2, the AF point will be switched more rapidly when slight changes in subject location are detected. The AF configuration tool isn't the only way to fine-tune the 61-point AF system. The priority settings further tailor the system for the way you want to shoot. These are in the second AF menu. AI Servo First Image Priority. This feature allows you to customize the response of the camera for the first picture. Equal priority. The camera allows a small preset time for AF to read and focus on the subject without noticeable delay in firing the shutter for the first shot. Release priority retunes the camera to give the fastest possible shutter response time, even if AF hasn't been able to fully latch on to a subject. Focus priority prioritizes focus so that you cannot shoot the first picture unless it is in focus. AI Servo Second Image Priority. When shooting a continuous sequence, this allows you to customize the response of your camera for the second and subsequent shots. Equal priority. Camera attempts to maintain the fastest shooting speed, but allows frame rates to slow down if required for the AF system to read and track a subject. Shooting speed priority. Prioritizes shooting speed to take shots at the fastest frames per second rate, even if AF hasn't confirmed sharp focus for each shot. Focus priority. During continuous shooting, the drive speed will slow down as needed to ensure the sharpest possible focus for each shot. You will now be able to easily fine-tune AI Servo settings to accurately capture subjects in motion, reducing the chances that the camera's AF system will be thrown off by momentary obstacles or abnormal movement. Back button AF. Utilizing the Back Button AF feature allows you to customize which buttons you use to focus and meter and gives you more custom control over the AF system. The default standard camera operation involves simply pressing the shutter button halfway to activate both AF and metering. However, you can separate AF activation from the shutter release and metering for more effective AF operation. There are multiple ways to customize the activation of your AF system. They are all available in the second Custom Functions menu under Custom Controls. This menu allows you to set the function of specific buttons and controllers. For Back Button AF, you do two things: change one of the rear buttons to make it activate AF, and remove AF from the shutter button. Available buttons for Back Button AF include the AF On button, AE Lock button, or the Lens AF Stop button, which is only available on certain Canon super telephoto lenses. To activate one of the back buttons for AF, highlight the button in the Custom Controls menu. Press Set. Highlight the Metering and AF Start option. Then press Set. Once you link the Metering and AF Start function to one of the back buttons, you activate AF by pressing that button. Just setting a back button for AF doesn't change how the shutter button works. To remove AF activation from the shutter button, select the shutter button in the first Custom Controls menu. Turn the quick control dial to highlight either the metering icon or the AE Lock icon. Lock in your choice by pressing Set. Now, a half press on the shutter button either starts continuous metering, or if you chose AE Lock, will lock metering. You may prefer to lock focus by pressing a button, especially if you shoot a lot in AI Servo AF. This is especially helpful if you'd rather activate AF with the shutter button. By locking focus, it's possible to avoid having the focus thrown off if something momentarily enters the picture area while you're shooting. AF Off and AF Stop are the terms Canon uses for focus lock. The following buttons can be customized for AF Stop: the AE Lock button, AF On button, Depth of Field Preview button, or the Lens AF Stop button on select Canon lenses. Selecting AF Off in the Custom Controls menu for any of these buttons will turn it into a focus lock. Just press Set after you choose AF Off to complete that choice. Activating Back Button AF or Focus Lock will give you more customized control over AF operation, making it faster and easier to achieve consistently sharp images. Manual selection of AF points. The ability to manually select AF points gives you full control over the 61-point AF array, ensuring a clean focus regardless of your scene composition. There are several methods for moving around the AF array. Press the AF Point Select button on the back of the camera. The top main dial moves AF selections side to side. The rear quick control dial moves points up and down. And the multi-controller moves up, down, side to side, and diagonally. This method should be familiar if you have used a Canon DSLR before to manually select your AF points. You can quickly change AF points manually by just pressing the multi-controller. No need to first press the AF Point Select button. Here's how. Enter Custom Controls in the second Custom Functions menu. Highlight the multi-controller option and press Set. Highlight AF Point Direct Selection. Now press the Info button. You can now dictate what happens when you press the multi-controller straight in during shooting. Option 1. Automatically select the center AF point. Option 2. If you have registered an AF point, then pressing the multi-controller while shooting will immediately return you to that memorized AF point. Note that if you have no registered AF points, then this option will also switch AF points to the center. Another possibility is to immediately move AF points side to side in the viewfinder by just turning the quick control dial. Select the quick control dial option within the Custom Controls menu. Highlight AF Point Direct Selection and press Set. Here is an option to instantly move to a previously memorized AF point. It's perfect for quickly moving from the center point to an off-center point by just pressing a button. To register or memorize an AF point, hold the camera to your eye and navigate to the point you want to memorize. Press and hold in the rear AF point select button. Press the illuminator button on top of the camera. SEL-HP will now appear in the finder. Note that HP means home position, indicating that the point has been memorized. Once you tap the shutter button to lock in your choice, the memorized point will blink in the viewfinder to indicate it's been registered. Manually selecting and memorizing AF points will allow you to quickly and easily change which specific parts of the scene your AF will focus upon. Manual selection of AF points. Here is an option to instantly move to a previously memorized AF point. It's perfect for quickly moving from the center point to an off-center point by just pressing a button. To register or memorize an AF point, hold the camera to your eye and navigate to the point you want to memorize. Press and hold in the rear AF point select button. Press the illuminator button on top of the camera. SEL-HP will now appear in the finder. Note that HP means home position, indicating that the point has been memorized. Once you tap the shutter button to lock in your choice, the memorized point will blink in the viewfinder to indicate it's been registered. Now, configure any of the following buttons with the Custom Controls menu in the second Custom Functions menu to instantly return you to the memorized AF point. For the AF On button or AE Lock button, select the button you want to use and highlight Metering and AF Start. Press the Info button and select Registered AF Point. Press Set. To use the Depth of Field Preview or AF Stop button, select the button you want to use, highlight Switch to Registered AF Point, and press Set. Note that the Lens AF Stop button is only available on select Canon Super Telephoto lenses. To use the multi-controller, select the multi-controller button, highlight AF Point Direct Selection, press Info, highlight Switch to Registered AF Point, and press Set. The button that you have customized will now instantly return you to the memorized AF point. To clear a registered AF point, either memorize a new AF point or press the AF Point Select button, highlight the registered AF point, press and hold in the Direct Select button, and simultaneously press the ISO Flash Exposure Compensation button. SELAF will now appear in the finder. A very cool option, especially if you shoot a lot of vertical pictures, is to have the camera automatically switch AF points as you rotate from horizontal to vertical and vice versa. This is Canon's orientation-linked AF point feature. By default, it's turned off. Activate it in the fourth AF menu. Hold the camera horizontally and select any available AF point as described before. You are free to choose any AF area mode too. Now turn the camera vertically. Select any AF point you want for vertical shots. You can also pick a different AF area mode if you like. The AF point can be set separately for when the grip is held at the top or the bottom. Now the camera will switch AF points or even AF area settings instantly when you change between horizontal and vertical. Manually selecting and memorizing AF points will allow you to quickly and easily change which specific parts of the scene your AF will focus upon. Audio options. There are several new options to improve the sound quality of your movies. These new options include headphone monitoring, audio adjust, and silent control. With these new options, you can easily and discreetly control sound before and during movie recording. With headphones attached to the headphone terminal, you can now monitor the sound recording while shooting movies. You can also use headphones to listen to the recorded sound during movie playback. Specialized menu screens become available when the camera is set for video recording. Within the fifth shooting menu, the silent control option enables touch sensor operation on the inner area of the quick control dial. Press the Q button during recording to bring up the quick control screen. Lightly touching the top or bottom of the inner area of the quick control dial selects items, and touching the left or right of the dial changes the setting you've selected. You can silently adjust the following options during movie shooting: shutter speed, aperture, ISO speed, audio recording level, and exposure compensation. Settings can be changed without moving the dial during video recording, significantly reducing operational sounds. The audio level can be adjusted both before and during shooting. The audio recording level is manually adjustable over 64 steps. You can visually check the sound recording level on the quick control screen. Press the Q button to activate it. With the quick control screen displayed, you can also change audio level by selecting the sound recording level. Highlight it with the multi-controller and turn the quick control dial, or tap the left and right of the dial if you've activated silent control. The headphone monitor, audio adjust, and silent control options give you freedom and flexibility to both check and quickly alter settings on your audio functions. Video, basic operation. Basic video operation with the EOS 5D Mark III is now easier and more intuitive. You have several options for using and customizing movie functions. The live view shooting and movie recording switch makes it easy to change from still to video shooting. Move the live view movie switch into the movie position in order to activate video shooting. You will now see your subject and movie settings on the rear LCD monitor. Once it's set to the movie position, menu screens 4 and 5 become available within the red shooting menu, dedicated specifically to video recording. To autofocus, you can either press the rear AF on button or press the shutter button halfway. You can select which focus mode you want to use on the fourth shooting menu screen under AF mode. You can select Live Mode AF, Live Face Detect, or Quick Mode AF. You can also focus manually. This will allow you to follow your subject and continually focus. It is recommended to find focus before you start recording, whether you choose to focus automatically or manually. Manual focus pulling during actual recording is possible, but requires a skilled and steady hand. You can start and stop movie shooting by using two different approaches. The traditional method is the Start-Stop button, which is on the back of the camera. Another option to start and stop movie recording is to push fully on the shutter button. This is not the default setting, but it's easy to set up in the designated movie menu. With the Live View movie switch set to Movie Mode, press the Menu button. Use either the top main dial or the multi-controller, and in the red shooting menu, select Screen 5, Movie. Within this menu, select the Movie Shoot button option. Press Set, and you can now select the option that assigns movie start and stop to both the shutter button and the Start-Stop button. Designating the shutter button to start and stop video recording has several benefits. You may find it more intuitive. There will be less camera shake and operational sound. And it makes it possible to use any of several Canon remote control cords to start and stop movie recording. With easily customizable options and features, basic video operation with the EOS 5D Mark III is more intuitive and quicker than ever before. Video compression method. You now have a choice of two video compression methods, allowing you to prioritize either small file size or superior image quality and ease of editing. Video files are still recorded using the same codec as previous EOS SLRs, but now users can select the type of compression that fits their needs: all-I compression or IPB compression. This low compression format is preferred for easy video editing. Image quality is often superior with all-I video file compression. With all-I compression, all frames are processed as single images, and each frame can be edited individually without losing image quality. For this reason, the overall movie file size will be nearly 3 times larger when using all-I compression versus the IPB method. A 4 GB video file using the all-I compression would record roughly 5.5 continuous minutes. This high compression method minimizes the overall movie file size, making it perfect for long-running clips that require less involved editing. A single 4 GB file using IPB compression can record up to about 13 minutes of continuous video at full HD 1080p. Adjacent frames are evaluated and groups of frames are created for compression. For this reason, it is more difficult to extract individual frames and precisely edit movie files that have been compressed using IPB. With the camera set for video operation, access the fourth shooting menu. Select the Movie Recording Size option. Select the desired combination of recording size, frames per second rate, and compression method. The quick control screen will confirm the active movie settings. You can now utilize either IPB or all-I compression methods when shooting movies. Your choice depends largely on how you intend to edit and use the movie footage. Video. Time code operation basics. Time code, a new feature, is now available for EOS movie files. Embedding time code into movie files increases editing efficiency with traditional video editing software. The time code is in a format to synchronize the video with time. It is displayed as hour, minute, second, and frame. Please note, during ordinary playback as well as shooting, the frames count of the time code is not displayed on the camera's LCD monitor, but it is being recorded and will be visible when editing in compatible video editing software. Once the camera has been set for video operation, timecode options can be set in the fifth shooting menu. Within the timecode menu, there are 5 options: count up, start time setting, movie record count, movie play count, and drop frame. The timecode option count up has 2 settings: record run and free run. This setting is perfect if you will later use editing software to arrange the movie clips within a timeline. With the record run setting, timecode is only active while a movie is being recorded. Each time you begin shooting a new movie clip, the timecode will begin from the values at which the preceding clip ended. The count is not reset, even if a movie file is deleted or the memory card is formatted. The free run setting counts timecode even if a movie is not being recorded. This setting is perfect for editing movies when multiple cameras are used to record the same scene. You can confirm the time of a recording by first specifying a value for start time. This feature allows you to specify a start time at which timecode will begin counting. The start time feature offers 3 options: manual input setting, reset, and set to camera time. The manual input setting allows you to specify the starting time by manually inputting values for hour, minute, second, and frame. You can use this function to prevent a duplicated timecode, especially when you record a movie with multiple cameras. The reset option can be used to return the timecode count to 0. This feature will reset the timecode for record run or manual input setting. Set to camera time is a setting that will sync the starting timecode values to the built-in clock of your camera. This will make chronological editing easier when several cameras are used to shoot a movie. The movie record count option allows you to choose which information is to be displayed while shooting a movie. The record time setting will display the time that has elapsed since the start of shooting a movie. The timecode setting will display the running timecode. The movie play count option allows you to choose which information is to be displayed while playing back a movie. The record time setting will display the time that has elapsed since the start of shooting a movie. The timecode setting will display the running timecode. When the drop frame option is enabled, the way in which frames are counted and labeled is altered to eliminate the discrepancy between timecode and the actual time. This can be especially important if you're recording long-running individual video clips. Timecode embedding and its related options increase the ease and efficiency of the movie editing process. AE lock with hold feature. Auto exposure lock is an excellent method of controlling exposure without losing the speed and convenience of automation. AE lock freezes the camera's exposure settings. For example, if you're shooting a portrait and want to place the subject off-center, take a meter reading off the subject first. AE lock then allows you to lock in that meter reading before moving the camera to recompose the subject. This ensures that exposure won't shift if the background is lighter or darker than the subject itself. The problem with traditional AE lock is that it's difficult to keep a reading in place for any length of time, or for more than 1 or 2 pictures at a time. Canon's new AE lock and hold addresses this problem. AE lock and hold changes how AE lock functions. Once AE lock and hold is activated, exposure remains locked until auto power off kicks in and the entire camera goes into sleep mode. AE lock and hold makes it easy to use auto exposure to quickly get to a desired exposure and then lock in that reading for as long as you need, regardless of how many shots you take. If you adjust the auto power off time, a locked exposure can be held up to 30 minutes. Or, if auto power off is disabled, the camera will hold the exposure until you turn the camera itself off. To designate which button will activate the hold function, go to the Custom Controls in the second Custom Functions menu. You can now assign AE Lock with Hold to one of several buttons: the AF On button, the AE Lock button, the Depth of Field Preview button, the Multifunction button, or the Lens AF Stop button on certain Canon Super Telephoto lenses. It's now also much simpler to manually turn off AE Lock. When AE Lock with Hold is active, just press the designated button again to clear it and return to normal operation. The AE Lock and Hold feature makes AE Lock a lot more practical when you want to use it for more than 1 or 2 pictures at a time. And it even makes it easier to clear when you want to return to normal auto exposure. We recommend, if you use auto exposure frequently, to try the new AE Lock with Hold feature and see how it fits into your shooting routine. Finder Display, Intelligent Viewfinder. The Intelligent Viewfinder uses a translucent LCD for a superimposed display of the 61 AF points, grid lines, and electronic level. Even though there's a lot of potential information, the Intelligent Viewfinder can be configured to show only what you're comfortable with and only for the required period of time. The viewfinder's LCD overlay consists of black lines, but these can be briefly illuminated for visibility during low-light shooting. This red illumination flashes briefly when focus is locked on in one-shot AF mode to help you confirm where the camera focused. The illumination doesn't stay on continuously, and the AF points and other viewfinder information don't light up in AI Servo AF mode. By default, the illumination will momentarily appear when shooting in dimly lit conditions when you're in one-shot AF mode. You can change the finder's illumination setting in the 5th AF menu. The Viewfinder Display Illumination option allows you to select either Automatic, red illumination occurs in dim areas only, Illumination Always On, or Illumination Always Off. Depending on your preferences, you can select how the AF points are displayed in the viewfinder. In the 5th AF menu, the option AF Point Display During Focus offers 5 settings. Selected Constant displays only the selected AF point during metering and when focus is achieved. All Constant displays all 61 AF points as small squares on the focusing screen, with the selected AF point or points highlighted with larger squares. This makes it easy to see the locations of other available AF points if you want to move from one to another. Selected Pre-AF Focused displays the selected AF point continually before AF starts but clears the AF points from view once AF is completed or once focus tracking has started if you're in AI Servo AF. Selected Focused keeps the viewfinder clear before AF starts and displays the selected AF point momentarily at the start of AF and again once focus has been achieved. Disable Display clears the display completely so that the selected AF point is not seen after it has been chosen. Canon's dual-axis electronic level can be displayed in the viewfinder, making it easy to tell if the camera is level. It even works during handheld operation. To activate the viewfinder electronic level display, access Custom Controls in the second Custom Functions menu. Here, you can assign the electronic level function to either the Depth of Field Preview button or the Multifunction button. Once the electronic level function is assigned, pushing the chosen button while shooting through the viewfinder will display AF points around the center AF point that indicate horizontal tilt and vertical tilt. When only the center AF point is visible, the camera is completely level. As soon as you tap the shutter button halfway, the display for the electronic level disappears and the normal AF point display returns. The Intelligent Viewfinder also offers a grid line display to guide composition. In the second Setup menu, select Viewfinder Grid Display. You can choose to turn on the display by selecting Enable, or turn the display off by selecting Disable. The Intelligent Viewfinder makes it possible to display a lot of information, but gives you great flexibility in deciding how much is displayed at any one time. Multiple exposure shooting. This allows you to shoot between 2 and 9 separate frames and then combine them into one composite image. This function also offers several options for how the separate images are combined in camera to achieve the final image. You can access multiple exposure options in the third shooting menu. Within this menu, you can enable the multiple exposure function and set various relevant options, including multiple exposure procedure, multiple exposure control, number of exposures, save source images, and continue multiple exposure. You can also reach the multiple exposure menu by pushing the new Picture Creation button and choosing the multiple exposure option. For multiple exposures, you first select between two shooting procedures: function and control priority, or continuous shooting priority. Function control priority is the multi-exposure setting that most users will likely reach for first. It enables you to take each multiple exposure image separately and check the image as you go along. This limits continuous shooting speed, but gives you more control over composition and exposure. Continuous shooting priority is intended for a rapid series of continuous shots that will be combined into one multi-exposure, making it well suited for sports and other moving subjects. It maximizes shooting speed, but gives you less precise control over exposure and composition. Here is where the new in-camera multi-exposure feature allows you to really get creative. You have 4 different options for combining the images you've taken into one new multi-exposure file. The additive method simply stacks each image on top of the other, much like multi-exposures in a film camera. If bright areas on 2 separate images overlap, their combined brightness will increase. Photographers can adjust the exposure of each individual image separately. It's often necessary to underexpose images, especially if bright areas will overlap in the final multi-exposure. The average method automatically underexposes each frame so that the finished multi-exposure has the same overall exposure level that a single standard image of the scene would have. It's ideal when two or more frames of the same scene will be combined to avoid overexposure as images are composited. The bright method compares the individual images to each other, giving more importance to the bright areas. Bright objects within the multiple exposures will be emphasized as the source images are combined. A classic example would be two shots of the nighttime sky with city lights and a separate shot of the full moon. Using the bright method, when the files are combined, the dark areas won't get progressively brighter, and the bright areas will appear at full brightness. The dark method compares the frames to each other, giving more importance to the darker areas. Dark objects within the multiple exposures are emphasized as they're joined into a finished multi-exposure image. This can be effective for removing unwanted bright objects or light reflections. You can choose the number of frames you'd like to use in a finished composite image. Up to 9 original files can be combined in camera into a single finished multi-exposure image. If you are unsure of how many frames you will use, set the number of exposures to its maximum of 9 frames and create a finished multiple exposure out of the images you do shoot. You can either save all images used in the multi-exposure image or save only the resulting multi-exposure image. You can have the multiple exposure function active for only one finished multiple exposure composite image before it automatically returns to normal shooting mode, or you can choose to keep the multi-exposure function active. 4 control method choices for multiple exposures provide unprecedented in-camera control over the final image, greatly expanding what's possible without requiring time at the computer. Having the ability to digitally create multiple exposures breathes new life into an artistic method that film shooters have used for years. Playback and magnify image. Playback functions have been redesigned, making image management faster and easier. Notable new playback options include 2-image comparative display, rating options, and improved image magnification features. During image playback, pressing the Image Creation button will display 2 images on the LCD monitor so that you can compare them. Pressing the Set button switches the blue frame between the 2 images. Once one of the images is highlighted with the blue frame, you can scroll through images on the card with the quick control dial, or turn the main dial to jump to another image. You can also rate and magnify the images while in 2-image comparative display. You can rate your images by assigning 1 to 5 stars to each picture as you play it back on the LCD monitor. Star ratings can then be viewed not only in Canon's DPP software, but in many third-party software programs as well. By default, star count increases by 1 each time you press the Rate button. Ratings begin at off, no stars. Each press toggles you through 1 to 5 stars and then back to off. You can also access the rating menu in the second playback menu. This also allows you to scroll through images and assign star ratings to any image you want to rate. There is now a dedicated Magnify Reduce button, making it easier to magnify and check the image. After pressing the Magnify Reduce button, you can turn the main dial to quickly magnify or reduce the displayed image. You can magnify different parts of the image area using the 8-way multi-controller. Pressing the Magnify button again returns you back to the original view. You can also change the initial magnification to be used during image playback by adjusting the magnification options in the third playback menu. With the 1x no magnification option, magnification begins from a single image display. With the 2x, 4x, 8x, and 10x magnify from center options, magnification begins at the selected amount from the center of the image. The actual size from selected point option displays pixels in the recorded image at approximately 100%. If the photo is shot using a manually selected AF point, magnification begins from that point. The final option, same as last magnification from center, begins magnification from the center of the image at the same ratio you last used for the previous image. By setting the magnification position and ratio in advance, you can save yourself the trouble of adjusting magnification for each image. Quickly comparing images side by side at the same magnification also makes it faster to select the image with the best focus. With two images played back on screen with comparative playback, instantly adjust one image in the comparative playback display to match the magnification position and ratio of the other image. This is convenient for checking the focus of images with the same composition or images shot in a continuous sequence. To apply synchronized magnification, press the Playback button. Press the Image Creation button to activate the comparative playback display. Press the Magnify Reduce button to magnify one image. Press Set to highlight the opposite image. Press the Q button and the camera will automatically adjust the magnification position and ratio to match that of the unselected image. The two new buttons aid in the process of making in-camera image management more efficient. Playback, rating, and magnification options make it fast and easy to critically review your images.